Yo, what is good, people? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is a match reaction to Barcelona winning 5-0 today against, who is this? Daegu FC. I've already posted a short, kind of just giving my quick insights on this. This is me just kind of, going in a little bit more on a match. Let me bring this up for you guys. So, I'm gonna, you really don't need to see Daegu FC players. Who gives a shit, They ras. Let's just call it for what it is. They ras. Starting 11, pretty strong starting 11. He put in Dro at Cam. He had Gavi replacing Pedri. Dro was replacing Olmo as far as our standard 11. Duro Martin replacing Inigo, who I believe he had some discomfort before the game started, but they said it was just nothing serious. It's just precautionary. Ronald Araujo, Koundé, and Balde making up the back four with Garcia starting. Frenkie de Jong didn't have a good game, didn't have a bad game. Really wasn't too much noticeable, but solid performance. With, like I said, Rafinha and Lamine Yamal on the wings and Lewandowski up front. Quick thought on the starting 11. Watching that first half, Gavi, player of the match, player of the preseason tournament in my eyes. I mean, he gets around that box, man. You just really don't know what he's going to do, but he's such a threat on goal. He offers something just a bit different from Pedri and Frenkie de Jong, in my opinion. And I also think, since we're talking about my opinion, I also think he has to find a way to be in that starting 11. No disrespect to Dani Olmo. I think he's a solid player, really good player. I appreciate the fact that he had to make that sacrifice without having any guarantees of registration. He had to deal with that again in the January window, and none of that fazed him. He was still ready to play when called upon. But I just think Gavi gives us a little bit extra, a little bit something different in the midfield. Maybe in certain matchups, you still go with the lineup that we had last year, and maybe in different matches, different leagues, like in the Champions League, you may go with our same 11 as last year, but then in La Liga, you can go with Gavi. I don't know, that's Hansi's call, obviously, but I'm just saying what I believe. He's had a hell of a preseason tour, and Gavi, I do think he's finally looking 100% healthy, and I hope and pray for an injury-free season for him, because if so, we're going to see what a lot of the world's kind of forgotten about, because I feel like a lot of people was quick to kind of write off Gavi. Barcelona fans knew, but we also knew he wasn't 100%. You have Gavi 100% in Hansi Flick's system, oh my God. I think we're going to see a level of Gavi we haven't honestly seen before. What we've seen in the past, I think he can eclipse that as long as he stay healthy. But yeah, that's just me. I will try to find a way to get all three of them in there, but maybe it just kind of fits on who you playing, the style that they're playing, the competition you're in. So I'm sure as the season goes, all of these guys are going to be getting consistent minutes. We're stacked. I feel like at every position, we have two guys that we can realistically rely on in case if we need to rotate, if there's an injury and we need to take out Lamine for Rooney, or Lewandowski for Ferran, or Marcus Rashford, or Rafinha for Marcus Rashford, or putting a throw out there. You can have Fermin Lopez in the middle. Haven't forgot about him behind Dani Olmo. If one of those two guys are out, we obviously seen with Dro, he can play in the middle as well. And then in the midfield, we know we got Frenkie de Jong, Marc Bernal, Casado, Pedri, Gavi. Am I missing somebody? Dani Olmo, Gavi, Fermin, Pedri, Casado, Marc Bernal, Frenkie de Jong. We're stacked in the midfield, so we can, knock on wood, I'm not asking for any injuries, but if something happens, we will be more than fine in the midfield for sure. We're stacked at right back, Koundé, Eric Garcia. And if Hector Fort stays at the club, then he could be the third string right back. We're good on center backs with Kubarsi and Ronald Araujo at left center back. And really, to even add to that, Kubarsi, Araujo, and Christensen. We also got Gerard Martin. Can't believe it. He's been having a hell of a preseason at that position, by the way. Andreas Christensen. I think I already said him. Inigo. He didn't play today. He has some discomfort, but he's going to be fine. Same with Kubarsi, who ended up leaving the game due to injury. It was more precautionary. He's going to be fine. And then at goalkeeper, we got 2 goalkeepers that we can rely on, and Joan Garcia and Chesney. So this team is stacked, man. If we stay healthy for the most part, and look, season with how many games there are, how quick they are, like you can get 2 or 3 games in 7 days. The ups and downs, you're going to have some injuries, unfortunately, but this is why you want to have a stacked team. I do think we have enough. I think this team up and down is better than last year's, because you got guys like Fati, who wasn't playing, but he's now been replaced by Rashford, who will play. Who else left? Anybody else left? That was really the main one that was like a part of the first team last year that I can think of. If I'm forgetting somebody, forgive me. I'm just making a video. Put in the comments down if I'm missing any outgoings. I think it was just Fati. No. So Fati and I can't think of his name right now. Striker. We just sold him. I cannot think of his name. I might have to edit that out. Anyway, but yeah, the outgoings really weren't missed, if I'm being honest. They just weren't. But the players that we brought in actually can have an impact and get steady minutes with this squad, and we're going to need it. I think this team is ready. We looked really good in the preseason, scoring 15 goals. Today, we had one opportunity. We got a clean sheet, so let's just acknowledge that. We kept a clean sheet. It's the first clean sheet that we done had in this preseason, which is a good job from this defense, knowing that we can score 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but sometimes we can give up 2, 3, 4 goals at a time. So we kept a clean sheet. We clap to that. In regards to the opportunity, though, there was an opportunity where Joan Garcia, there was a ball played across the box. He kind of pushes it out, but he didn't get enough on it. Falls to one of their attackers, and it looks like he tries to chip it. I don't know why he didn't just put it straight on goal, but he ended up missing open net. So they probably, in all fairness, probably should at least have 1 goal, but that's about it. But yeah, in this preseason tour, everybody played well. I was the players that stood out to me, like, wow, like, yeah, I see. Okay, we can use that this year. The obvious, Gavi, mentioned him before. Lamine Yamal, as great as he was last year, I'm telling you, in these 3 games that I watched him, he genuinely has gotten better. His dribbling, he looks a little taller, a little more stronger. So it's scary to know that Lamine's got better. Gavi is there. The young talent out of La Masia and Dro. I've really been impressed with Rooney. What a signing, Deco. Look, Deco, I'm normally hard on you. I'm normally got some negative shit to say about you. But in this case, with finding Rooney and with how cheap he was, and the fact that he wasn't just a player that was bought and he never gets any minutes, he's actually going to be the first winger off the bench on that right side. And seeing how he links up, how he plays, what a signing. Finding Rooney. Great signing. But I think this team is ready, man. I think this team is really ready. Going off last year, do you see Barcelona winning back-to-back trebles? We could. I'm going to throw this curveball at you and say, I don't know if I want us to. And it's going to sound crazy because it's like, who wouldn't want to go for trophies? I would sacrifice 2 of those 3 trophies that we won last year to get a Champions League. And I'm sure most of y'all was like, duh, I mean, who wouldn't? But I'm saying I would. If that means we got to over-rotate in La Liga to to get ready for a big Champions League match, and in that case, we may drop 2 points. We may drop all 3. You really don't know. But if it shows that we're all in on the Champions League, it's a big risk, because if you don't win it, at the end, it looks like, okay, you went all out for the Champions League, didn't win that. And now going back to the other 3 trophies you won last year, you can even do 2 of those, 3 of those, or even just 1 in that case. So, I don't know. I think I'm just so thirsty for another Champions League. It's been so long. We're going on 11 seasons now. We won it in the 2014-2015 season. This is 25-26. Barcelona's long overdue for a Champions League. So I wouldn't mind sacrificing Copa del Rey and shedding some points in league if that means that. And look, you don't really have to, because we won the treble and we were literally minutes away from being in the final. So you can argue that we really don't have to change anything, add to what we did last year, which is by adding more players. More players are more comfortable in the system. So knowing Flick, he's going to go for all trophies. This is just me saying, if I had to choose another domestic treble, but no Champions League, or go all out for the Champions League without really knowing what you're going to get, but that means you will have to sacrifice on the back end, league play, Copa del Rey, whatever it may be. But just looking at this team, I do think this is the best chance Barcelona has had in many years to actually win the Champions League. So I'm super excited to see what this team is going to look like going into the season. We picked up right where we left off going into last season. So let me know what you guys think of this performance today, and also what you think about the preseason tour as a whole. Who do you think was the best one? Most people agree with me for the most part that it was Gavi who looked the best. A lot of people was really impressed with Rooney as well. Rashford looked good, even though he just got his first goal. Lamine, I can go on and on and on. And I haven't mentioned his name yet. Ferran Torres, he didn't play today. But the last couple games that he played, every time he gets on the pitch, he just looks dangerous. He just looks lethal. So I think this team is fully ready. I think we're going to hit the ground running. I know our first 3 matches, they're away, and they're going to be some tough matches. But I think we can handle it. I do. I think we're going to jump out. And honestly, I'm not going to say we're going to jump out and pick up right where we left off from last year, because I do think it takes some time to get to that point. But we're going to look a lot more ready to go into the season than we did last year. I'll just say that. So, all in all, great performance from every single player out there today, and really throughout this tour. Because I think if you pick somebody that hasn't had a good preseason tour, you really got to go out your way. I don't think it was no clear-cut, obvious choice on who didn't look good in the preseason tour or who hasn't looked good in the preseason tour. Everybody looks sharp. Hansi Flick, what a manager. What a manager. Not only he got La Masia players playing with confidence, he got players who's already been here. Everybody's up in their form. I haven't seen him. There's not one player that you can easily pick. While everybody's going like this, there's one player going like this, or there's one player going backwards and he's going down. So that's all Hansi Flick and his coaching staff. That's all down to them. So that's the reason why a lot of Barcelona fans has the confidence that we have. It's because we know we improved the roster, the squad from last season. Not by a lot, but enough. And we got, in my eyes, outside of Luis Enrique, and respectfully Pep Guardiola, Hansi Flick is the best manager in the world. He's top 3 for sure. His floor is 3. Absolute lowest you would get me to say he is 3. But I think he's going to achieve what both of those men have achieved. Speaking of Luis Enrique and Pep Guardiola, and winning the Champions League, I do think he the mentality that he has, just the relentlessness of just going all out all the time. I do think there's going to be a bit of a fear factor from Barcelona when other teams come up against it because of what they seen us do last year, how relentless that we are. It kind of reminds me of his Bayern Munich teams. It was a point of time where you just knew there's no point of watching Barcelona. There's no point of watching Bayern Munich. You know they're going to win, and not only they're going to win 5, 6, 7 goals past you, and only maybe concede 1, 2 at the worst. So it kind of is getting me back to that. So it's nice to see that our club is doing that. So very happy with the team performances in this preseason tour. We got the Jean Gamper game coming up against FC Como. I don't know where the hell we're going to be playing that game. I'm sure the information is already out there because it's coming up. But until that comes, I probably won't be able to live stream that because I think that's this week, if I'm not mistaken. But I will be ready for La Liga. I already mentioned that on my other video. I'm going to be live streaming those as well. So I haven't really had a chance to live stream a Barcelona match on my channel. I've done the live stream for the Club World Cup final, PSG and Chelsea. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. But to be able to be ready week 1 in La Liga, I will be there. I'll be there because on the weekends, the only time I really can't stream is if the games are during the week. But in the Champions League, I'm already, as soon as that schedule comes out, I'm putting in all my PTO days at work, so I have undivided attention towards the live streaming and focusing on Barcelona. So if you made it this far to the video, comment who your player of the preseason tour was. For me, it's Gavi, and after you put that player name, to say Visca Barca, that lets me know that you made it this far to the video. If you have, I do appreciate you guys for watching. The love I've been getting on this channel, I'm just starting out, but every single comment, every single like, you don't have to do that, but the fact that you do, it just lets me know that you are fucking with it. And for a content creator, the smallest of the smallest, it's humbling. And I do appreciate you guys for watching. It means a lot. We got a big season ahead of us. We do. Big season ahead of us. And I can't wait for you guys to see more content. So with that being said, leave a like, leave a comment, share with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't, and if you made it this far to the video, like I said, man, give me your player of the tournament and put Visca Barca. That just lets me know that you made it this far. I do appreciate you guys for watching. I will be dropping another video here soon, but until then, I will catch you the next time. Visca Barca, two-tone, we out.